Hey there, folks. Welcome back to the Overflow. My name is Micah Curtis.
And I'm Alex Baldwin, also known as the Hatman.
And we are here this week to basically answer all of the questions that we were sadly unable to get to in the last podcasts. And we don't have a ton this week, but there's a few good ones. So we'll see where things go. Hatman, as always, the decision is yours. Shall we begin with politics or entertainment as I take a bite out of my hard-boiled egg?
That is a fine question. I think we're going to leave it up to chance this time.
Okay.
Heads for politics and tails for entertainment.
Go for it.
It's heads. Guess we're starting with politics.
All right. Hard-boiled entertainment comes to us with a hopeful question. Imagine Tommy Robinson rising up in the future to become the UK's Prime Minister. Nelson Mandela 2.0. Could that happen? I suppose anything is possible in the universe?
Well, considering Nelson Mandela was also, kind of a communist.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
I wouldn't put money on it.
I wouldn't either, but, don't let hope die, I guess.
Yes. If nothing else, do not let hope die. Alright, Jerry, no other name, this individual's name is just Jerry, asks if we have read any of the works by Ludwig von Mises or by Hayek.
I cannot say that I have.
I am familiar with their work. I'm familiar with the use of knowledge in society. I've been told it's a great book. I'm familiar with Human Action, both of which are big-time defenders of the free market. So I want to read both of them. I just have not had the chance to do so. But they are two philosophers, economic philosophers, that I've been wanting to read for a long time that sadly I've never really gotten around to. A lot of the philosophy that I read more has to do with ethics and teleology, or teleological issues, than it really does with economics. So, but economics are interesting, so I'm definitely not against them. So once I'm finished with the other stuff in my backlog, I will probably get to Human Action. I'll probably go to first, because I hear that Mises is Ludwig von Mises is much easier to read than Friedrich Hayek. But then again, I could just get the audiobooks. So I do have Audible, so I'll probably just put them on my list there, and if there's audiobooks of them, and just listen to them while I'm playing a video game or something, which apparently is an addiction now.
Oh,
we're gonna have a lot to talk about on the podcast this week.
Oh yeah.
Let's see here. But I have not read them. Hatman, have you?
I can't say that I have.
Okay. Well, apparently we both still need to increase our knowledge, which is fine. I like increasing my knowledge.
Yeah, but in the meantime, sorry to disappoint.
Yes. Alright, Jacqueline Inman asks, do you think it's okay for companies to snoop around personal lives to see what we are doing? Hell to the nah, to the nah.
No.
Hell nah.
No. The only one who should be snooping around in my personal life is me.
Yes.
And, possibly whoever I end up getting hypothetically married to.
Mm-hmm.
I think she would have that right. But, no. Otherwise, no. Nobody.
Yeah. Screw that. There's a debate on whether or not you have a fundamental right to privacy. I am of the opinion that it is an extension of the right to property.
I agree.
And that's sort of my argument for it.
Well, I agree somewhat. I would say it's more right to self-determination than anything else.
Well, right to property technically stems from the right to self-determination. The ability to own things. So,
that is true.
But regardless, if you own property, if that property is yours, it is basically a statement of your own autonomy as a human being. And as such, what happens within your property and who could observe it should be determined by the person who owns it. So that right is oftentimes, in my opinion, neglected by a lot of people. But then again, I think that's just the society we live in these days, and why it needs to change. To respect that right, to understand that right, you know. There's a reason that I think that civics and economics should be required to graduate from high school.
Mm-hmm.
That would be, I won't lie, when I become president, I'm doing away with Common Core, but those are going to be requirements to graduate from high school. Right. You have to pass civics, and you have to pass.
That was a requirement from my high school. So.
Yep, and we're teaching free market economics because that is what the United States does, and we are teaching constitutional civics because we are a constitutional republic. People need to know what they are and how they can work within those systems. Because there's a lot of people out there that just don't know, and they don't know because they were never taught. So, all right. Eclectic 1995 says, if we were to go to war with Mexico for any reason whatsoever, how do we think this would affect America? Tacos would no longer be called tacos, they would be called Liberty Shells.
Liberty Shells?
It'd be a short war.
Yeah.
Probably, maybe, not very long at all. In which
the Mexican government might get the help of the cartels.
Maybe, but even then they'd get steamrolled. Then I guess we would turn Mexico into another set of states.
And we just turn it into one massive Taco Bell.
Oh, man. Oddly enough, though, like, the general Mexican citizen would probably be like, fuck our government. Because their government is, like, historically trash.
Well, considering that they're, like, outgunned by the cartels, that's why I said, like, the cartels would probably be the ones to really fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No wonder. Get your shit together, Mexico.
Yeah, no kidding. It's one thing that it's like people say, it's like, oh, Mexico's this wonderful place. No. The resorts are wonderful. You like Cancun. You know, go to the Yucatan area. And then tell me
like stab in Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck you, gringo, Mexico.
Yeah.
Like, don't you come around here, SA. You know, like, that part of Mexico. Tell me about that. Tell me how wonderful that is. You know. And after your kidneys have been ventilated, before you die, I will take your confession. And you will be forgiven. Dave's fault. But anyway, how would it affect us? I mean, there would be a lot of refugees wanting to come here. But aside from that, I can't really say much. It wouldn't be a hard war. It'd be short. So I think that's really all I can say about that. Hatman, do you have anything to add?
Not really. Except I'm looking forward to the massive Taco Bell.
I'm looking forward to losing weight so I can eat it again.
No, that too.
Alright. Entertainment time. That's all we had for politics. So, entertainment, we only have a few questions. People are not very inquisitive this week, it seems. Swordsman 100 asks, thoughts on Gwendolyn from Dark Souls? I honestly have never had an opinion about Gwendolyn. If Gwendolyn is the one I'm thinking of. I like the lore of Dark Souls, but I don't get as into it as everyone else does. I don't even know if I've ever fought Gwendolyn now that I think about it. No, I haven't. Basically, Gwendolyn is like a trans character.
Oh.
But it's like a boss that you have to gain access to. I've never fought Gwendolyn, so I can't really say much. I know that she gets absorbed by one dude in Anor Londo in Dark Souls 3, and you end up killing him. But yeah, I never really felt the need to fight or go out of my way to fight Gwendolyn. You know, it didn't really seem imperative. I'm not one of those. It's a weird thing. I play Dark Souls to relax and to sort of like get myself in a certain mood. I don't really play it to just like kill everything. You know, if that makes any sense. Like, I enjoy the fact that it is challenging, but I do not play it specifically to be challenged, if that makes any sense. I do it because of the mood that it puts me in. You know, it's very relaxing, dark, intriguing, but yeah, that's about the long and short. It's the game that I'll play, or one of the games that I will play when I'm listening to audiobooks. It's that and For Honor. Like, I'll listen to an audiobook or a podcast while I'm playing those games. So, oddly enough, that's part of the reason as to why I don't play. Well, For Honor's a multiplayer game, but I don't play like a ton of like super intense multiplayer games. Is because half the time when I'm playing a video game, I'm also listening to something else at the same time. So, it's very rare that I like really unplug and play a video game. And when I do, that's kind of what my PS4 is for. Because I've got like The Last of Us Remastered that I still want to play through, and
I just got that the other day. So,
and the remake of Shadow of the Colossus, which I played a couple bosses and it's amazing. Controls are still jank, but yeah.
Is that one any different than
same gameplay?
One,
Gameplay's exactly the same. The difference basically is that the physics and the physics and the texture work are completely HDified, and it kind of brings the monsters into the modern day. Like, if you look up footage of it, the colossi themselves, like, they just look incredible.
So it's the same game altogether, just with a different coat of paint.
Basically, a much better coat of paint.
Okay, cool.
It's sort of like taking a classic car and redoing the exterior of it because the paint's like old and chipping off and all this other stuff. So you bring it into the modern day with a fresh coat. So yeah, that's exactly what it's like.
Fair enough.
Let's see here. Hardboiled Entertainment asks, Top Cow has an annual comic writer contest and another one for artists. Think you might want to check that out. Maybe, but I am not of the opinion that if they looked into my background, I would ever be given any sort of award by them. The instant they find out that I'm a conservative, they're going to be like, yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, it certainly seems like that's what's going to happen in most cases, unfortunately enough.
Yeah. Republicans are not allowed. It's just the sad way that it is. But, I mean, I would be interested in trying it out, but I have some other ideas at this point. The only thing that I would maybe want to submit to them would probably be the Godless War concept that I had. Because the other books, it looks like, may end up getting done, possibly in the future. I've got a artist helping me out with the prototypes of some of the characters that I've created, and we're going to go from there. So,
nice.
Eclectic 1995 asks our final question of the day. Which of the 6 Infinity Stones would you wield, and why that particular one? So, for me, it would be the Reality Stone. arguably speaking, it's the most powerful in a way, just because of what it controls. But just the simple fact it can warp reality. If you see, if you ever read the Thanos quest, which is where it wasn't introduced there, but like you kind of see the depths of it there. It's when it's actually kind of a funny situation. So in the Thanos quest, the runner has the space stone, and Thanos already has the time stone by the time he's there. And basically, Thanos explains to him how the space stone works, and but by this point, he has aged the runner to be over 1 million years old, whereas an old decrepit man. And what happens next is he reverts the runner into a baby, and then takes him to the Collector. And the Collector's a dumbass in the comics, for those who don't know. The Collector's a moron. And he takes him, and the Collector thinks that the gem, the Infinity Stone that he has, is worthless, because he could never really access its power. Thanos explains you have to be of a certain mindset to be able to access it. He goes, this gem controls reality. When he says that, he goes, allow me to give you a small taste of its power, and he basically warps everything around the Collector while he's laughing at him. One doesn't think of fun when balancing the universe, but that put a smile on his face. But regardless, though, yeah, the Reality Stone would probably be the one I would use.
I'd probably pick the Time Stone. If only because I played quite a bit of Prince of Persia: Sands of Time back in the day. So, kind of feel like I'd be an expert.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think I picked the Time Stone. That, and it doesn't hurt to, look into the future to see if you're going to get caught in traffic after work.
Yeah.
I just use it for wholly mundane reasons.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Disappointing, yes, but...
Meanwhile, I'm on Mars terraforming the damn thing.
As long as you're not a big blue guy with his dick out, go for it.
Be tempting.
Damn it, Micah.
It'd be very tempting.
Oh my god.
I would need a Silk Spectre in my life.
And second Silk Spectre.
Well, yes. But the, sadly, the ladies are not lining up, but hopefully once I drop all this weight, that will change. So, we'll see what happens. Well, we are out of questions.
Wow, that's it.
Yeah, even shorter than last week. I'm surprised.
Quick overflow. Well, that means send us questions next week.
Yes.
Or Saturday, or whenever you watch this. Just send us questions. Give us everything.
We will give you a greater sense of meaning in your life. Or maybe just a few laughs, if nothing else.
We'll make you mildly hungry.
Yes. Though I would like to think everyone's just watching my current video, so...
No, ain't nothing wrong with that.
1,000 views in 2 hours? I'll take it. Alright. Well, folks, we do appreciate you all giving us questions, though. We're going to go ahead and take off, because I need to go get ready for work. So, with all that said, my name is Micah Curtis.
And I'm Alex Baldwin, also known as the Hat Man.
And we'll see you guys next week. Deus Volt.
Deus Volt.